Alright, we are now live. We have not new, and I apologize for being a bit late on it. I was actually out in public, and then this happened, but we have a tornado warning for parts of Gallia and Mason counties. Still trying to get used to my West Virginia counties. But we have this tornado warning here. This is going to be for the eastern part of Gallia County and the northern part of Mason County. But again, yes, it's Gallia County, but it is a very small part of Gallia County. So, Gallipolis, you're good. You're in the clear. Gallipolis Ferry, Bidwell, Rio Grande, all that, you're good. You're good. University down there at Rio Grande. You're good. Cheshire, I'd be in my safe place for just like 10 more minutes and you'll be fine. Addison, you are absolutely in this warning. Same with Point Pleasant, same with Henderson. Maybe the far east and north sides of Gallipolis, actually. So not all clear for Gallipolis yet. For basically anybody to the east of Mill Creek Road, you need to be in your safe place. You need to be there right now. If you're driving along 35 between Rio Grande in Ohio and in Buffalo and West Virginia, you need to be off of that road right now. You need to go to a gas station, a restaurant, something like that. Just pull over off the nearest exit, go to some public place that you can access, and you'll be fine. Same thing for Ohio Route 7 between Cheshire and Gallipolis. You also need to be off the road, and you need to be off of the road right now. If you're in a mobile home, same thing goes for you. You go to, maybe it's your mamaw's house, maybe it's your best friend's house, maybe it's the post office down the street, maybe it's a McDonald's, go somewhere that is not a mobile home. And when you're in your safe, or when you are in a safe place, you need to have a helmet on. You need to have a helmet on and hard sole shoes. These can be your J's, or your tennis slash gym shoes or sneakers, whatever you want to call it. People call it different things, but you need to have that on. You need to have a helmet on. Now we do actually have a live view of Gallipolis right now. So it's more of a screenshot every minute or so, but this is one of the live views we have. Not much going on, but we do have some traffic. Okay, enough of that. We're going to go back to our radar mode here. Looking, and again, Gallipolis really is not even in the threat, so we really need to be looking at places like Addison and Fort, are you serious? Sorry, I'm losing my mind today. Point Pleasant. I've been there before and I got the name wrong. Lord have mercy on my soul. Huh. All right, yeah, but somebody needs to go ahead and tell the Mothman to go ahead and take cover. Oh, okay, that's a bit disrespectful. Not trying to be disrespectful now. Let's see, how is our live view going now? Okay, that is not how we want it to look. So this is just a view of the Mothman Museum. It's not really showing the actual area that well. So again, we're going to go back to our radar mode once again. Again, this is going to be near Point Pleasant. Basically, what I'm trying to do is find a... Ooh. Oh, wait. Nope. That's another news station's camera. Can't do that. Um, Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, it's really just the Mothman camera, but we can go ahead and go on. There we go. Give me just a second. We're going to have a view of this in no time. This is actually going to be a traffic camera. And never mind. There will not be a view. You want to know why? Because there are no traffic cameras in Point Pleasant. So our best bet is right here. But hold on. There we go. Watch this. Now our view of the Point Pleasant camera has or is better. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's happening? Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on. That's not good. No, 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 no. There we go. I don't know what happened there. My bad, y'all. Um, but yeah, we still have this tornado warning for Point Pleasant in West Virginia, Mason County, along with Gallia County. And our rotation might be picking up actually, so we need to really... Ooh, yeah, that could be nasty. Let's go ahead and read our winds. So what you're looking at here, this is what we call velocity mode, and basically that measures where the direction in which it measures raindrops, but raindrops are carried by winds. So it measures what direction the raindrops are falling in and how hard that they're falling down, which that would be the velocity. Um, if we weren't on Charleston's radar, we were on Wilmington's radar. No wonder it looked weird. Okay, let's see. How has this... Eh. So, I mean, this is not the strongest rotation I've ever seen. That's the good news. We're looking at about 26-mile-per-hour winds moving towards Charleston and moving away from Charleston. We have like 16 miles per hour. If anything, I'm kind of surprised this is tornado warned. But it is starting to pick up a little bit, right towards just to the north of Addison, basically near Honeysuckle Drive along Ohio Route 7, very near where it separates with Route 15. And then it's going to be heading towards the north side of Point Pleasant. So the northern end of Point Pleasant, basically along 62, and where you turn onto County Road 1/3, is where around where this is kind of going to be. Now, something I want to check. Oh, this is not going to be easy, is it? Nope. All right. So we may not be able to tell if debris is being wafted. To be totally honest, though, this does not seem super tornadic. But we can look at a loop to see if it maybe did before, if it looked that way before. But again, there could also be some stuff that we just don't know. It definitely did, and it looks like it might be trying to get more tornadic again. These storms will cycle. That is just part of what storms do. So they'll get more rotation at times and then dissipate and then get rotation again and then dissipate. They cycle. That's why they're called cyclic supercells. Supercells being isolated thunderstorms that rotate. A lot of thunderstorms rotate, but not a lot of them produce tornadoes. There are a lot of thunderstorms that rotate and don't produce tornadoes. Okay, that's the wrong Charleston. Hold on. So tornado possible. Yeah, so it's been radar indicated, and there has not really been any reports of an actual tornado that is down, or a funnel cloud for that matter. And the thing is, I wish we could be able to see a little bit more, but I don't think we will be able to, as our only camera is literally at the Mothman Museum pointing at the Mothman statue. And it, well, it wants to load. There we go. That's our view. That is our view of Point Pleasant that we get. Now, again, all love to the Mothman statue, but we can't see a tornado from there if it's coming, unless if it is moving overhead, and then the camera's going to have the power cut to it. So, either ways, we're really not going to see much. I wish there was another camera around here, and I'm going to be looking for it, but for now, we're going to have to get back to the radar mode. That's going to be our only way of really reading the storm, knowing what's going on. I know a lot of y'all don't understand radar, and that's okay. Y'all are not in college for that. You don't have to know. That's what we're for. Y'all, I just did something crazy. I found another camera. Look at this. Hold on. This is a traffic camera. This is kind of between Gallipolis and Point Pleasant, but not the best, but definitely better than what we had. And this one shows a new image every 30 seconds. Maybe, or maybe it's every few minutes. And if it's that, then I'm going to be mildly infuriated. Let's, so looks like right here we have some lower hanging clouds. Now, again, this could be valley fog. This could just be another hill. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. I don't think it's another hill. I think it is low clouds. Look right here. More low clouds. You go right here. That's just part of the camera. But over here, you got some low clouds. So we do have a definite, we can confirm we have a low base to this thunderstorm. So there's some evidence that is working in our favor. Or actually not in our favor. In the favor of me being right. In the National Weather Service in Charleston being right. But we don't want to be right because we don't need a tornado going through here. We really don't. We got enough problems as it is. Life is tricky enough. We don't need a tornado coming in and whiplashing us more. Now, our actual rotation and putting it on the rotation mode, I'm not going to lie, y'all. And y'all are going to be rather happy to hear this. It's looking very weak. Again, we still have a tornado warning in this Polygon issued. So I still want everybody in Addison and Point Pleasant and Henderson in your safe place, or anybody along Route 2 or or Highway 35. I need you to still be in your safe place. Anybody along Sand Hill Road, along 62, just to the north of Point Pleasant, just to the south of Cheshire. I still want you in your safe place. Now, again, where is that? If you're in a mobile home, you got to be out of there. If you're in a car, you got to be out of there. You need to be at a gas station, a restaurant, a convenience store, a friend's house, relative's house, post office, something like that, and you'll be fine. Um, but if you're in a site-built structure, if you have an underground shelter, great, go there. If not, okay, that's fine. Go as low as you can go and as center as you can go. Go to the middle of the structure and you'll be just fine. Once you go to the middle of the structure, you'll be good as gold. But you know what's even better? If you have hard sole shoes on, these are not open-toed shoes. These are not your sandals, your flip-flops, nothing like that. This is going to be your J's, your Vans, your tennis slash gym shoes, your sneakers, your boots, even some country cowboy boots. That can work too. Rain boots, anything like that, and you'll be just fine. Reason why we want you to wear a helmet is most injuries in tornadoes is caused by flying debris. And you got to protect your noggin if something like that happens. Hard sole shoes, it's so you don't step barefoot in some sharp glass or wood. Trust me, that's not going to feel good. Think about stepping on a Lego and amplify that by about 1,000. You're about where you're feeling if you step on glass barefoot. But if you do that, you'll be just fine. Again, these are not going to be your long track big bad tornadoes. These are little storms that get a little spin to them, might drop a tornado, a low end brief tornado, and then lift. Now, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, but I'm still not going to get off of here until this tornado warning is done. But we do have a new downstream severe thunderstorm warning, almost making it all the way down to Charleston. So that goes to show you the National Weather Service in Charleston thinks that this is probably going to remain severe for quite a while. It's going to keep going. It is a supercell, and it's going to be a long track supercell. Now, that's not the same as a long track tornado. We're not talking big bad tornadoes. We're just talking individual storms that remain going for miles upon miles. Again, our main threats is going to be 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, quarter-size hail, which is about 1 inch in diameter. We're going to go over who's involved. Addison, you're almost in the all clear. So take a good breather. Point Pleasant, you're kind of going to be getting the worst of it right now. But you are involved in the severe thunderstorm warning. Leon, um, anybody along Sand Hill Road, anybody to the immediate west of Cottageville, um, anybody to the immediate south of Ripley, Leon, I already said that, Buffalo, Eleanor, um, Eleanor, you're involved, Winfield, Hometown, Bancroft, Polka, Cross Lanes, Nitro, East Nitro, Sysonville, you are all involved. And here's the deal. Hold on. Let me go bring you back to the storm here. We're going to keep it on the rotation mode right now. Um, yeah, Red House, Hometown, Eleanor, Midway, Fraser's Bottom. I believe maybe Fraser's Bottom in this, or are they outside of this? Let's see. I think Fraser, yeah, Fraser's Bottom's just outside of there. So Fraser's Bottom, you're not involved with this. I don't know if any of y'all been to Tammy's Country Kitchen. It's really good. Go check it out. There you go. There's your free advertisement for the day. Funny story. When me and some friends we were traveling and we actually stopped by. They had good barbecue. I will say that, but my card declined. Why is my money not ever right? All right, enough about me though. You still have this severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning for Point Pleasant. Stay in your safe place for just a few more minutes. I'm sure they're going to expire this rather shortly. Again, Buffalo, Robertsburg, Arbuckle, Grimm's Landing, Leon, Ambrosia. That's who's in the severe thunderstorm warning. Henderson, Point Pleasant, York as well. Is York involved in this? York might not be involved in this. So they're just out. They're in another severe thunderstorm warning, but the main storm's moved out. Um, I think we can go ahead and say that Addison is all clear, and anybody driving along Ohio Route 7. I don't like to do that before they expire the warning, so maybe wait until they expire the warning. But I can tell you at this point that this storm has moved out of the way and is not going to make a U turn by any means. We're going to go back to our regular storm mode. Yeah, you could see this thing is not very tornadic anymore. But we still have a severe thunderstorm warning. But yeah, in the tornado warning, Wyoma, you were also in this. Arley as well. Anybody near Concord Church, Ambrosia, Ash, um, along Ripley Road. Anybody at the West Virginia State Farm Museum. Okay, our tornado warning. Okay, this is just in. Our tornado warning is now being allowed to expire. So, all clear. This thing's done. Especially if you're in Addison, Point Pleasant, Henderson, Cheshire. I'm going to remain on here until the polygon disappears. But yeah, tornado warning done. Done with tornado. Severe thunderstorm, we still got that going. Do we have a storm track on here? I don't think we do. Yeah, but you can see this is the inflow of the storm here. Our outflow is not really, like, we're not getting much rotation. And our main outflow's here, so this is where our damaging 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts would end up being. Again, nothing unlike a summer thunderstorm, really. Dad burn it. Hold on. There we go. But again, Arbuckle, Robertsburg, Buffalo, Midway, Eleanor, Winfield, Red House, Plymouth, Bancroft, Black Betsy, Winter, Liberty, Young, Goldtown, Kenna, yeah, Given, Rock Castle, Wood, Evans, Argona, Ash, Alton, or Mount Alto, not Alton. I'm stupid. Um, Cottageville, kind of Mildwood. Oh, okay, hold on. I didn't see this here. Um, there we go. Okay, Ripley, you're not involved. Evans, Angarona, Mount Alto, Millwood, Leetart, Magantha, like near the Magantha Cornerstone Church, the Old Town Board Baptist Church. This does technically include Point Pleasant and Henderson, but this thing is about past the main part of town. Again, the hollers out in the outskirts. You're still dealing with this right now. Ash, Wood, Leon, Arbuckle, Robertsburg, Buffalo, Midway. Midway's kind of slightly out of it, but the outskirts of Midway, farther from the river. Eleanor, Winfield, Red House, Hometown. Fraser's Bottom, you're just outside of this. Tammy's Kitchen, you're just outside of this. Sorry. Um, and by the way, they're very nice about my decline check. Let me make that 100% clear. They're really nice about it, and they didn't have to be. So I'm forever thankful, and I will be back. Again, Hometown, Bancroft, Black Betsy, Windsong Anchors, Morgan's Landing, Polka, Raymond City, Scary. There's actually, yeah, Scary, West Virginia's in this. Nitro, the north side of Nitro, Cross Lane, Lanham, Raymond City, Whitechapel, Sisonville, Goldtown, Romance, Advent, Mount Tell, Liberty. Anybody near Emma Chapel, Young, Kenna, Kentuck, July, Given, Fairplain, Rockcastle, Nat, went over Wood, Angarona, Evans, Mount Alto, Cottageville. It's gonna remain to the west of you. But yeah, that is who is all involved in this severe thunderstorm warning. Now we're gonna go back to the radar. And yeah, our tornado warning polygon has now disappeared, meaning that I think now's about a good time that we go ahead and call it, um, not call it quits, but call it done. As we have this severe thunderstorm, it actually looks like it might just be weakening. Although we will have to remain keeping an eye on it. But again, it's a severe thunderstorm warning. At this point, all you need to do is be indoors, and if the hail gets real bad or the wind gets real bad, away from windows. This is not a situation where everybody needs to be underground or anything or in that safe place at this point. Now, could that change? Possibly. Is it likely? Meh. But I think at this point we can go ahead and stop the broadcast as the immediate threat to life and property, other than, this severe thunderstorm warning right here, which is not that threatening, but still you need to respect it and be indoors. But the tornado warning's over, so we're going to go ahead and call it. Stay safe out there. Have a good one, and we will see you next time.